And despite a little rain, people are checking out the vendors at the downtown street fair in Fargo. If you can get out there this evening, the street fair will be going on. If you can't get out there, it'll be going on through Saturday. But weather is on the minds of many, as you can see people holding umbrellas as they make their way around the downtown area. Let's begin our weather coverage today with what's happening right now. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much, and a good afternoon or early evening, everyone. As we take a look at the radar, we do see some rain showers from northwest portions of Minnesota straight down the Red River Valley and encroaching on the Fargo-Moorhead area, some heavier shower activity. Now, we've been talking, or you've heard about a risk of severe weather tonight, and it's still there, but it's kind of diminishing a little bit. We did have an earlier severe storm not far from the Devil's Lake Basin. A couple of rounds of storms going to be likely tonight. This is the first round, and right now nothing is severe, mainly some lightning, some heavy rain, and also some small hail potential the way things look right now. The main event could be taking place later tonight, but boy, that's marginal at best right now. We'll take a look at the latest radar. Fargo, we got green over us, thus the umbrellas out there, just some sprinkles. The heavier showers of rain are moving in from Castleton, the Buffalo and Tower City area, and staying north of Valley City near Lake Ashtabula. Now, the strongest cell on the radar right now, just south of I-94 in Stutsman County. All of this is drifting slowly east at between 25 and 40 miles per hour, depending upon the cell. Closer to 40 mile per hour movement now, as showers are mainly passing south of the Grand Forks area if you're out and about there. So from Northwood through Reynolds, we have some thunder and lightning, some small hail potential, but by and large, things are fairly quiet. Once these cross the Red River into western Minnesota, not as much energy there, so these are even losing their lightning potential there. So scattered showers tonight, some hail. Later tonight, there is a slight risk of some severe weather. We'll go over the details on that, but it might be really, really late, Mike. Our models are indicating we get through the evening, and then after 10, some storm development. More on this in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch.
Yeah.
President Biden today approved a disaster declaration for North Dakota counties that suffered damage during spring blizzards and flooding. Weather conditions broke records, knocked out power for more than 10,000 residents. It caused over $57 million in damages. So with this declaration, federal funding is available to state, tribal, and eligible local governments on a cost-sharing basis for repair or replacements to damages caused by the severe weather in 40 of North Dakota's 53 counties. Though all areas of North Dakota are eligible for assistance under another grant program. Now, Governor Doug Burgum responded to the news today saying, "We appreciate President Biden and FEMA granting our request and recognizing the incredible hardship that this combination of severe storms and flooding caused for our farmers and ranchers, communities, local governments, and first responders." An autopsy is being performed on a body found floating in Lake Bemidji. Beltrami County investigators say the Minnesota DNR notified them of the body floating near Lake Boulevard yesterday. Authorities say there are no obvious signs of trauma to the man. We now have new information on a Wahpeton man who faces another round of charges for running his car into his ex-employer's building. 61-year-old David Miller is charged with attempted robbery and misdemeanor count of disobedience of a judicial order. An employee of 210 Wine and Spirits called 911 for help on July 2nd. Documents say when officers arrived, Miller was behind the store counter with a knife pointed at the cashier. Miller told officers he needed cash and went to the liquor store to rob the place. A restraining order was already in place at the time of Miller's attempted heist. Damages to the building are estimated at $100,000 in structural damage and $20,000 in products. 4 vehicles, including 2 SUVs, a car, and a box truck, were involved in a crash on Interstate 94 east of Moorhead around 10 this morning. It happened in the westbound lane near the truck weigh scale. Westbound traffic was backed up for miles for more than 90 minutes. Injuries to most of the people involved were said to be non-life threatening. However, in a news release from the Highway Patrol, more details on the injuries of a 70-year-old woman from Valley City are expected soon. A Moorhead man has been formally charged with sexually assaulting a young girl. 60-year-old Dennis Gomez faces first-degree criminal sexual conduct. The victim told investigators that Gomez assaulted her when she was 8 or 9 years old. Court documents say Gomez told the victim to take off her clothes. When she refused and tried to walk away, he threw her on the couch and sexually assaulted her. The victim also says Gomez told her not to tell anyone or he would hurt her or her siblings. Gomez is not talking to authorities. Two men are under arrest after authorities say an argument got way out of hand, prompting someone to fire off a pellet rifle. It happened at an apartment in the 900 block of 42nd Street South around 4:20 this morning. Police say the argument got out of control and the people took it outside. They say 25-year-old Dejer Monger fired the gun into the air 4 times. Then authorities say 23-year-old Man Haley took the pellet gun and fired it toward 2 people. No one was hurt. The 2 are being held for terrorizing and reckless endangerment. Fargo City leaders will be meeting shortly with Fargo Police, the chief, to talk about the department's policies and procedures regarding critical incidents. This comes after the deadly officer-involved shooting last week. The meeting from 5 to 6 this afternoon will be held at City Commission Chambers. We will be streaming what happens there on our website at valleynewslive.com. Moorhead Police want you to know that an active shooter training is going to be taking place at Horizon Middle School next week. It's going to be a 3-day training starting Monday for district staff. First responders and police departments from across the region will facilitate the training that may involve simulated gunfire and role players. There is no threat to the public, but portions of that school being used for the training will be marked and not accessible. Also, keep this in mind. Ridgewood Boulevard from 36th Street South to 40th Street South will be closed to traffic from 8 to 5 each day. Here's some good news. Someone is now $50,000 richer after a Powerball win, and the ticket was purchased in Moorhead. The Minnesota Lottery says someone bought the lucky ticket from the Main Avenue Hornbachers. That ticket matched 4 of the first 5 numbers. So far, the person with that ticket has not come forward, but if you're out there and watching right now, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out on our VNL Facebook page. President Joe Biden received Israel's Medal of Honor, that country's highest civilian honor. It speaks to the two countries' close ties. The president is using the visit to assure Israel that the United States will not allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. But the countries can't agree on the best way to go about that. Reporter Skylar Henry has more details.
President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid signed a joint pledge to deny Iran nuclear weapons.
You have an ironclad commitment from the United States of America to Israel's security, an ironclad commitment.
Israel is pushing the U.S. to be more aggressive against Iran.
The Iranian regime must know that if they continue to deceive the world, they will pay a heavy price.
President Biden says he wants to continue to work to try to bring Iran back to the negotiating table to find a peaceful resolution to end their nuclear program.
I continue to believe that diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome.
But the Israelis say that won't work.
Words will not stop them, Mr. President. Diplomacy will not stop them. The only thing that will stop Iran is knowing that if they continue to develop their nuclear program, the free world will use force.
Wednesday, President Biden told Israeli TV that all options are on the table.
Does that also mean, sir, that you would use force against Iran? Is that what that means? If needed?
That was the last resort, yes.
Friday, President Biden heads to Saudi Arabia to meet with the country's king and crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Ivana Trump, the first wife of former President Donald Trump, has died. Ivana Trump was the mother of Mr. Trump's 3 oldest children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. In a social media post, the former president announcing her passing, saying, in part, she was a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life. Ivana Trump was 73. Her cause of death is unknown.